Maths Mastership. Comment, like, subscribe. Hello guys, so we are going to be looking at adding and subtracting fractions. Now, quick question on there. What fraction of the shape is shaded? Obviously it's a quarter. Now it's asking us to shade another quarter. No problemo. Now let's say roughly speaking that's shaded. I know that is nowhere near shaded, but hey, I do not claim to be an artist. Now it says how many quarters are shaded. Obviously it's 2 quarters. Okay, so 2 quarters. So that has said to you that 1 quarter plus another quarter that we drew gives us 2 quarters. Now, it does not give me 2 over 8. I have not added up the bottom. It stays as it is. I add up the top and the bottom stays as it is. The denominator, the bottom doesn't change. Okay, so, some questions. What is 2 over 8 plus 5 over 8? Now, as we said, the bottom doesn't change. So straight away, I can write in over 8. And then I just need to say, well, what's 2 plus 5? Last time I checked, 7. Done. Okay? This one, what is 5/10 minus 2/10 minus 1/10? Taking away is identical. So the bottom does not change. For the top, we do 5, take away 2, take away 1. That's going to give me 2. Check. Now, what I'm going to do is, there are some questions here. If you want to pause the video and have a go at them, feel free. If not, that's fine, we're moving on. Now, if you did those questions, here are the answers for you. If not, fine, no problem. Next, you could be asked to work out an answer and then simplify it. If that's the case, you're going to need to do as we normally did, so we know that's going to be 20. We know that on the top we've got 19 take away 9, that gives me 10. I can divide the top by 10, I can divide the bottom by 10, that will give me 1/2. Now I have done a video specifically for simplifying, so go and check it out if you're not sure about that. I don't want to go over it here. Again, there's some exercises. If you want to pause it now, feel free. And here's the answers for you. If not, we are moving on. So, this is what we actually need to know. This is the tricky part of it. Okay, if it says to us, what's a third plus 4/9? The bottom is not the same. We don't know what's right. We can't keep it the same like we normally do, because they're not the same. So what we need to do, and this might jog some memories if you've done this before, we need to make the bottom the same. Now how I do this, I think of a number that's in the 3 times tables and the 9 times tables. It doesn't matter what number. So if I think about my 3 times tables, I've got 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, etc, etc. My 9 times tables, I've got 9, 18, 27, and I carry on. So the first and easiest number to use would be 9. But you would get the identical answer if you used out of 18, as long as you simplify. Okay, so I'm going to have it out of 9. Now, to get from 3 to 9, we had to times it by 3. That means you must do the same thing to the top. I have to times it by 3. Now 1 times by 3 gives me 3. Okay? For the second one, well, how did I get from 9 to 9? I just times by 1. So this one stays the same. Okay? So just to clarify, this fraction is the same as this fraction, and 4/9 is obviously the same as 4/9. I can then add those up. So again, the bottom is the same, so it's over 9. The top I actually add up, so I get 7. And that is my correct answer. Okay, we'll take a look at another one. So 1 quarter plus 3/8. So the bottom, the denominator, must be the same. So think of my 4 times tables, I've got 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. In my 8 times tables, I've got 8, 16, 24. So I could use 16, but actually 8 is going to be an easier one to use, because one of them's already 8. So I'm putting them both out of 8. But you can't just do that, remember. You've got to see what I've actually changed. So to get from 4 to 8, I've multiplied by 2. Not sure if you'll be able to see that. that means I have to do the same thing to the numerator. We don't favour one, we treat them the same. So if I multiply that by 2, 1 times by 2 gives me 2. And obviously for this fraction, we haven't actually changed anything, so it stays as 3. So I have 2/8 plus 3/8. That is going to give me 5/8. Remember, add the top, the bottom remains the same. Now for subtraction, it's identical process. The only difference, of course, at the very end you take away. So if I have a look at this one down here, I've got 2/3 minus 2/6. So times tables, I've got 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. 6 times tables, I've got 6, 12, 18. Doesn't matter what number you pick as long as it's in both. So we're going to go for 6 because that's the first number that's a multiple of both, the lowest common multiple. Okay, so it's out of 6. And then, what have I actually done to this? How did I get from 3 to 6? Well, I've had to multiply it by 2. Okay? So I have to do the same thing to the numerator. They have to be treated the same. So 2 times 2 gives me 4. 2 times by 2 gives me 4. The second fraction I haven't changed, so I've still got 2. So I have 4/6 minus 2/6. I change the top, the bottom remains the same. So 4 take away 2 is 2, and the bottom, the denominator stays as 6. Okay? And that's pretty much all you need to do. So there's some quick questions here. Again, if you want to do them, go ahead and do that now. I'm going to put the answers up. 3, 2, 1. And if not, that's fine, you can just keep watching. So, other thing you might have to do when it isn't as easy to find something in both the times tables. So for instance, 7 and 2, it's not immediately obvious what it is. Now, there is a method of doing this that ensures you can easily find out what's in that times table. Now obviously, if you've got 5 and you've got 3, if you do 5 times 3, it has to be in the 5 times tables, and it has to be in the 3 times tables. So I'm going to do 5 times 3 gives me 15. Okay? And I have to times this numerator by 3. So that's going to give me 3. And I have to times this denominator by this numerator. That gives me 5. Now, this might seem more complicated than the other method, but actually they are identical. Okay, they are identical. Whichever one you prefer is fine. So 3 plus 5, that gives me 8. Bottom is 15. And that equals just gives me a chance to simplify if possible. But in this case, nothing goes into both 8 and 15. Okay, some people call this the smile and kiss method. You've got your smile and you've got your kiss. So it's easier to remember, but potentially you might not exactly know why we're doing this as much as the other one, okay? But both of them absolutely perfect. Both of them will give you an identical answer, but do remember to simplify your answer, okay? So hopefully that was helpful to you. Hopefully you've had a chance to practice some. If you have any questions, if any of my answers are wrong, which definitely could happen, just let me know in the comment section. Thank you very much, and goodbye from me.